The first chill of the evening had nothing to do with the sunset. It was the sight of my champagne glass, subtly repositioned on the linen tablecloth, that sent a cold wave through me. I'd left it pristine, untouched, as my new husband Leo and I had been pulled in opposite directions by well-wishers. Now, a faint crystalline dust clung to its rim. My gaze snapped to the family table. My older sister, Jenna, was just settling back into her seat, a smile playing on her lips that didn't reach her eyes. "Everything okay, sis?" she called, her voice a little too loud, too bright. "You look stressed. Maybe sit down and have your drink." Heads turned. My mother, from her seat beside Jenna, shot me a look that was pure warning. Don't make a scene. "My name is Clara. I'm 28, and for 2 years my life was a color-coded spreadsheet leading to this wedding. Tonight was the crescendo, a day that cost $80,000 and every ounce of my event planner's soul to perfect. Leo, pragmatic and protective, works in digital security. His one non-negotiable had been a network of small, discreet cameras around our venue. For the gifts, for liability, he'd reasoned. I'd agreed, thinking it paranoid. Now I understood it was prescient. Jenna, 33, had spent a lifetime treating my achievements as personal theft. Where I found purpose in building things, she nursed a grievance that my existence had diverted attention meant for her. Our parents always mediated with the same weary refrain. "You know how she is, Clara. Be the bigger person." So I was. Through snide comments and sabotaged opportunities, I was the bigger, quieter person. Her enthusiasm for helping with the wedding had set my teeth on edge, but familial guilt is a powerful silencer. The ceremony was flawless. The reception, however, quickly sharpened. Jenna was a hummingbird of false cheer, flitting too close. "Let me get you a drink. The bride shouldn't lift a finger." Her insistence felt less like service and more like a siege. I declined, each refusal making her smile tighter. When I saw the powder on my glass, a strange calm descended. This was act. I caught Leo's eye. He followed my gaze and understood. He casually draped his napkin over the flute, then transferred it to his groomsman Mark, a former paramedic, with a low whisper. The evidence was secured. Meanwhile, I smiled. I let Jenna believe her plot was unfolding in the dark. She grew emboldened, grabbing the microphone for an impromptu toast. "My little sister," she chirped, "has always needed everything to be just so controlled. I hope married life teaches her to loosen up." A few guests tittered nervously. My mother dabbed a proud tear. I raised my water glass in a silent, ironic salute. She cornered me later in a shadowy alcove. The performative sweetness was gone. "You think you're so perfect," she hissed. "You don't deserve it." "What did you put in my drink, Jenna?" A sneer. "You're paranoid. You took everything from me." "I didn't take anything. I built something." "You built it on my ruins," she shot back before melting into the crowd. What she didn't know was that we were building a case. While she circulated, Leo accessed the camera feeds. He found me and led me to a quiet corner. On his screen, in stark clarity, was the truth. The timestamp read 8:17 p.m. The footage showed Jenna, after a furtive glance, sliding a small white pill from a clutch, crushing it over my glass, and using her finger to swirl it into the champagne. It was methodical, deliberate. "We have it," Leo said, his voice a low rumble of anger. "The glass is safe. This footage is saved." Then I played him the audio I'd captured minutes before, her confession in the garden. She didn't drink it. She can't prove anything anyway. We had her. The decision was mine. I could have had her quietly removed, but a lifetime of being the bigger person ended the moment she chose to poison my wedding. She wanted a scene. I would give her a premiere. I pulled my maid of honor, Sophie, and Leo's best man, David, a film editor, into our confidence. We showed them the footage. Sophie's hand flew to her mouth. "We need to call the police." I said, "We will, but first she's going to confess in front of her audience." David nodded. "I can put that clip on the big screen in 10 seconds. We waited. Jenna, believing herself victorious, was in her element, her laughter a little too shrill. She had no idea the tide had turned. As the evening began to wind down, I took the microphone. The crowd of 300 turned toward me, expecting a closing thank you. Leo stood solidly at my side. "Thank you all for sharing this day with us." I paused. "They say you see people's true character during life's biggest moments. Tonight, I learned that in the most devastating way." A ripple of confusion. Jenna stiffened at the bar. "My sister, Jenna, put something in my champagne." A collective gasp. Jenna pushed off the bar. "Clara, have you lost your mind?" "I have proof." I nodded to David. The massive screen behind us went dark. Then the surveillance footage played. It was silent, but it needed no sound. The image was large, unambiguous. Jenna's face, her deliberate movements, the pill, the stirring. A timestamp anchored it in reality. The silence was absolute. Then I played the audio. Her own voice echoed. "She can't prove anything anyway." The illusion shattered. Jenna's face went from fury to sheer panic. "It was a joke! A stupid joke!" she screamed, her voice cracking. Leo stepped forward, holding up the napkin-wrapped glass. "This is the glass. It's being tested. What should we tell the lab to look for, Jenna?" She had no answer. She stood, exposed and utterly alone. "Please leave," I said. "You are not welcome here." The venue manager and a security guard appeared. As they escorted a sobbing Jenna out, the crowd parted in a wave of stunned silence. Then, from the back of the room, someone began to clap. Slowly, then another, until the tent filled with supportive applause. The aftermath was a storm. The lab found traces of a powerful sedative. I filed a police report. My family ruptured. My parents arrived at our hotel suite. "How could you humiliate her like that?" my father demanded. "She humiliated herself. Your choice is simple: condemn her actions or excuse them, but you don't get to do both and keep me in your life." They left, choosing for the moment the familiar chaos of Jenna. The wedding photos are beautiful. Jenna is in none of them. In the ones from after the confrontation, my smile is different. Less the practiced grin of a hostess, more the genuine expression of a woman who has finally set down a burden. I learned that some bridges need to be burned for clarity. The light on the other side is so much brighter when it's no longer obscured by the shadow of someone who wants to watch you stumble. My wedding day taught me the necessary cost of my own peace, and it was worth everything.